I am really bad at making TBRs. Like, I will make a TBR and then read nothing on them. So this is not a set in stone list. It's just books that I hope to read in the new year. Bookstuna! Hello! Welcome to 2019. 2018 was a rough year, to make the understatement of the new year. Today, I'm going to be talking you through my hopeful books in 2019. The books I hope to read in 2019. Let's just go in no particular order. If you watched my latest video about best books I read in 2018, I want to read a book that helps me get settings right. Like in Rebecca and Mariana. Like the setting is part of the story, it's its own character. So I bought, when the Writer's Digest website had a sale of its writing, not textbooks, but like help books, A Writer's Guide to Active Setting, How to Enhance Your Fiction with More Descriptive Dynamic Settings by Mary Buckman. I'd never heard of her, nor had I ever seen this book before, but I hope that it will help me make a setting that comes alive like Mariana and Rebecca. So, kind of matches my sweater. Oh, and this actually also should be, these two are also in here. I bought a beautiful edition of The Handmaid's Tale. It's the vintage classic Evers. I had an old copy but gave it away, I guess, so I bought myself this new one because A, it's beautiful, and B, she announced she's writing a sequel! And how have I not read this yet? And once I read that, then I can watch the show, which I still haven't done. And then also so I can watch the show and so that I can finish enjoying the book, because I am kind of close. I've read 100-ish pages of Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett, and David Tennant is gonna play my favorite character, and I also love Michael Sheen. Is that his name? Sheehan? Whatever. Put it here. So need to read this. Yes, I do. Okay. I also would like to finish Our Tragic Universe by Scarlett Thomas, which is a recommendation, not to me personally, but to writers, by Rachel Stephen from her YouTube channel. I read about half of this last year or the year before. Yeah, 2017, and enjoyed it, but I just wasn't in the right headspace. It was a little too just sad. Like, I was dealing with anxiety and the main character has anxiety, and so it was kind of like not great. So I think I'm in a good enough place to read this soon-ish. And I mean, it's beautiful. Look at it. Did I push record? Oh, thank God. I've had this book for a long time now and haven't started it. It's The Captive Prince by C.S. Pacat. I am intrigued because a lot of booktubers that I respect like it. It's a gay romance? Yes. And it's a woman who started writing as an online author, and then her book became so popular that she became published. And so I find that story very inspiring and giving me hope. So I want to read this. Next, not sure if I'm gonna like this, but I am a Daenerys fan. My Daenerys is not... Where is she? She's over in my other Funko area. But I bought Fire and Blood. Like, I pre-ordered it, even though I don't like George R.R. Martin's writing style. But I'm really interested in the Targaryens in probably the same way that a lot of people are. Like, it's so disturbing that I can't look away. So also this book's beautiful. I haven't seen it with the jacket off yet. Oh, it's pretty boring. However, that's pretty awesome. So I may read this. I may never read it. It may be one of those fantasy books I've purchased and just never touch, like all of the Court of Thorns and Roses series, or I mean, it happens more often than I would like to admit. Like, I bought this. Why? Because I know if I could just just can't get through Drizzt, the first book where he's in. So this is like a prequel? I don't know. I need to, guys, I need to stop buying books and let myself read them. Anyway, this is a sequel to one of my favorite books from 2017. It's the sequel to The Tiger's Daughter. It is The Phoenix Empress by K. Arsenal Rivera. I really enjoyed this. It's a lesbian romance, but also the ladies are badass. And unfortunately, as I mentioned in other previous videos, there's some, there's cultural appropriation going on. So, and it's, you know, it's not done. I am not of the culture that is being appropriated. Apparently it's like ancient Mongolian myths and, or not myths, but just Mongolian culture, and I'm reading it anyway. Like, I don't know if that makes me bad, but all of our faves are problematic, so it's just, the female characters are really strong, and I was sucked in. Like, I read this giant book in 4 days, and I'm hoping she has done a better job of treating cultures with respect. I don't know. Next, we have a book that I feel really stupid for having bought, but I'm obsessed with witch books now, and so I want to read A Discovery of Witches. I already owned the first 2 books, which I bought used somewhere, and I was like, I'm never gonna read these, and I sold them to Half Price Books. And then there was the news about the TV show, and now I'm into witches, and I'm like, I really do want to read this now. Damn it. So I bought it new. So, but I'm looking forward to that. Next, another book on writing by Chuck Wendig. This past year I read Damn Fine Story. It was really good, learned a lot about writing, and also genuinely laughed a ton. So this time I will read The Kick-Ass Writer, which does indeed match my sweater. 1001 ways to get, or to write creative, oh my goodness. 1001 ways to write great fiction, get published, Oxford comma, and earn your audience by Chuck Wendig. I really enjoyed Damn Fine Story and learned a lot about writing, and so hopefully this will do the same. I also plan to read Susanna Kearsley's newest release, Bellwether. It was so exciting to be able to purchase one of her books like as it came out, because I'm a new fan relatively of hers. My favorite book of 2018, I think, is Mariana, which is one of her earlier books, but I am becoming a giant fan. I love her writing voice, I love her characters, I love her settings, I love her writing. I don't know what that one's about, so I'm just going off the fact that she wrote it. Next, one of my 2018 reading goals that I did not accomplish, unless I decide to do this in the next, like, 20 days. 10 days? 15? Words, whatever. I will have failed one of my goals of 2018, which was to read a classic and its retelling. So I'm carrying this over to next year. I want to read Shakespeare's The Tempest and Margaret Atwood's retelling, Hagseed. So that is the second Margaret Atwood book on this list, mostly because I love Margaret Atwood so much, and yet I've read only Orcs and Crake and Good Bones. It's a collection of like short fiction. Good Bones and Simple Murders, really good. And then next, I want to read, I haven't decided which one yet, but I want to read an Octavia Butler book because Kindred is one of my favorite books of all time. And so I either want to read Xenogenesis. Look at this fantastic cover. Is this only one book? I bought this used at a fabulous bookstore. No, this looks like, this looks, okay, it's 3 books. This is Dawn, Adulthood, Rights, and Imago, if I'm saying that correctly. All of which look awesome. I mean, check this cover art out. It's a very, like, I imagine this once was a library book. Like, how come it has nothing on the back? That is not something that you see these days. It doesn't even have an ISBN number on the back. Sorry, bent pages are distracting me. No! So this, yeah, I've never seen a book without an ISBN. That's so weird. How old is this? / is this a legit publisher? Must be. Oh, it has an ISBN number. It just doesn't have a scan thing. Duh, Sandy. Old books wouldn't have things to scan because they didn't have scanners. 1987. So this book is, or the first book at least, is 1 year older than I am. The other possible collection is Seed to Harvest, which has the novels Wild Seed, Mind in My Mind, Clay's Ark, and Pattern Master. And this is just a really nice omnibus edition. So Wild Seed I came across the introduction of in a writing book that I have yet to finish. Ursula K. Le Guin's Steering the Craft, I think, or it may have been in On Reading. Sorry about that discrepancy. Okay, so maybe it's not from this. Oh, I think perhaps, I apologize. It probably was from writing fantasy and science fiction, where one of the essays deconstructed Octavia Butler's first sentence in Wild Seed, and I will read it to you now. It was in a chapter of first sentences, I think. I will have to look up what book it's actually from, because I'm still not even sure that this is the correct one. So, but the first sentence sets up so much. She puts so much in one sentence. So that's a goal of mine. Doro discovered the woman by accident when he went to see what was left of one of his seed villages. So a lot going on in that first sentence. You can close read the heck out of it, which is what that person did. So Octavia Butler's stories are wonderful, her characters are wonderful, and I just want to read her writing so that I can get better at it by association. Tolkien's Beowulf. I've been feeling like wanting to read a classic, and I was like, I don't really know. I bought this when it came out a few years ago now. Don't know what that voice was. But I was so excited about it because it's Tolkien and it's Beowulf. It came out 2014? Seriously? I've had this book 4 years and I haven't even opened it. Like, beyond, you know, like, oh, it's a book on the shelf. I haven't decided when I'm going to start this, but I am nearly done watching season 3 of Outlander, because I watch it very slowly. And season 3 ends with the end of Voyager, which is the last Outlander book that I have read. So if I do pick up and want to watch season 4, I mean, I will want to, it's just when, I will need to read this monster first. Look at how young she looks. I mean, it's a very 90s-tastic photo. So this is Drums of Autumn. This is a hardcover I got somewhere. Someone's address is in the cover, not mine. But let's see. Oh, is this a first edition? I need to figure out how to tell. I don't know, but it's 1997. So this book is giant, obviously. Here's it without it's nothing interesting under there. I will likely read the paperback, the big floppy paperback, which is in my bedroom, but you know, I really like reading these. The mail is here. I think there are more books in the mail. More witchy books in the mail. Oh my gosh, I'm fighting my books. A lot of people think that like the series has kind of peaked after book 3, but I gave my grandma Outlander for Christmas last year, and then I gave her books 2, 3, and 4 when she went to have surgery, and she read them all in like 2 weeks. So she thinks this one is her favorite. So maybe I need to, I mean, if my grandma likes it, it's gotta be good, right? Okay. Any other like bonus episodes? I mean, I also, of course, want to read this, City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab, which has a sequel coming out and it's been announced to be a TV show. So that's pretty cool. I also want to read The Name of the Wind, which this book is probably the most beautiful book that I own. And, I don't think I've even opened it before. But it's so beautiful, and oh my god, it's so beautiful. I need to read it. Okay, so let's put this back on the bookshelf before I get too excited. Okay, those are all of the books I'm hoping to read next year or beyond if I don't get to them next year. I'm really excited to read now. I've just been, for a while, for this past week, like Ariel Bissett did a Instagram thing where she read every night at 10 p.m. Like she would put her phone away and start reading. And since I have to be at work at 8 a.m., my reading time starts a lot earlier than that. But I've been reading for like the hour before I go to sleep, and it's been so great. I've missed reading so much. It's one of those things where you don't really realize you're not doing it until you take a step back and be like, I don't remember the last time I read a book. And yet I have all of these books. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you're planning to read next year below. Talk to me or follow me on Instagram or whatever. And I will be hopefully filming a 2019 bullet journal setup because I'm going into a new bullet journal and there will be lots of reading spreads and writing spreads. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bookstudent! God, I'm out of breath.